Is a short live stream. Is gonna be, of course, because of the US Independence Day. Of course, we're gonna have a short day for the trading market, and also we're gonna have also just a few updates for the NASDAQ, which is still running so far. I'm not sure which hour it's gonna be closed. Maybe today it's gonna be closed earlier. However, SPX and the other stock markets are already closed. But this live stream is to see, of course, what happened yesterday, and to reanalyze, of course, and to stay up to date until the Monday. So basically, let's start with NASDAQ. We are, I think, at 11 minutes starting right now. And of course, with NASDAQ, as you remember, yesterday we mentioned that this is gonna be the 3rd of July, is gonna be a very tricky day. It's gonna, of course, be kind of like simply moving toward the upside blindly. However, it has ended up, of course, as an ABC here, zigzag, pure zigzag toward the upside. And as I mentioned, be careful, it might happen as highest possibility. Therefore, 1-2 here is not valid at all, guys. The wave 2 did not do the 0.38. And that means, of course, we are in a potential ABC definitely towards the upside, taking the fib levels for a wave B and an expanding flat A B, and a C. And that means on Monday, you might, of course, expect a continuation toward the downside for this wave C, where we did not finish yet, guys, our wave 5. So the wave 5 toward the upside is not yet done. We're simply gonna see, of course, a wave 4, which it can be, by the way, we're gonna see, but this is coming later. It can be, of course, a triangle, and then moving for wave 5, but preferably that we just simply have a wave C, one leg toward the downside, continuation simply for higher later on. Currently, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and this might be only the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside, because in confluence for your targets here, you might have the following expanding flat wave C. Here we go. Expanding flat wave C in confluence exactly in this area. Taking the low 1.618 is much more preferable, of course, for this wave C, meaning the wave 4, guys, has extended, of course, to this side. Very simple. Okay, so this is what happened yesterday. Definitely this is a zigzag, guys. There is nothing impulsive here. All right, we don't see continuation unless, by the way, there is also a possibility. Don't forget, a zigzag can be an impulse in one condition, which is, I think most of you knew it, diagonal, right? Diagonal. So we also have to keep this scenario as well in mind, not just like being blind toward the downside. So it might be a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Okay, so we're gonna watch what's gonna happen in this area, and we're gonna see, of course, wave 2 can be even test the 886. It can be very low, guys, and then moving toward the down upside. So yeah, basically I would say, if this is an impulse, let's see another zigzag ABC, and then take the 1-to-1 fib level here on Monday, and then we take it from there. If this happens and move toward the upside, we might be in diagonal, ending diagonal for this impulse toward the upside. If we move down and we take the low, or we take the 886, well, higher potential, of course, to take simply the low 1.618. Great. That is regarding NASDAQ. Two scenarios, diagonal or ABC expanding flat. Let's see SPX 500. So for the SPX, well, here we go. I already mentioned, you take the 1-to-1 fib level, you will see like very high prices. And this is exactly what happened, right? So why? Because right now, this wave at 1-to-1 fib level, in case we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once you break this level, this wave becomes longer than the wave 3. The impulse become invalidated. It doesn't mean bearish. It means more bullish, actually. And it transforms this to 1, 2, 1, 2. And this becomes, of course, your wave 3. Therefore, SPX is gonna explode toward the upside continuation for 2.6186, 6,300 potentially taken from the wave 1 here to the wave 2, giving 2.618 for a wave 3. An extended wave 3, which might, of course, affect the wave 5 later on, which it can be very short. Therefore, 1, ABC expanding running flat wave 2, signal of a huge bullish scenario. By the way, running flat wave 2, signal of a huge bullish scenario. And here we go. We see the results right now. Wave 3 extended, wave 4, wave 5 short, to hit exactly the blue zone, 6,500, potentially 90 for SPX. So very nice price action. Everything was still, of course, as predicted. I love stock market in Elliott wave, guys. I find it somehow easier than crypto, and that's why I love it so much. So everything is working perfectly as expected. I don't see any bearish right now, any kind of bearish scenario. We're looking, of course, still for higher, for higher prices. Free Minds, hello. How you doing, man? Are you good? You should be in a holiday today. So yeah, welcome, guys. Nice to see you. So I think, that was it for SPX. I think nothing to add more than this. This is simply what happened yesterday and what we might get next. Okay, let's see the gold. Definitely the gold, I think it has synced very massively yesterday, or what? Oh, yes. The gold is still open today. Interesting, the gold is still open. So for the gold here, we have still, of course, this potential triangle that we are into it. So I would say if we are in an A, B, C, potentially wave D can move toward the upside, and then wave E. That means bullish, if you remember. And this means that an extension for the previous impulse might unfold. If you go to the live stream, the last one, I explained this very detailed. You might be here in wave 3, therefore wave 4, rather than wave 5. So you can go back to the live stream. You can find the gold. It's already in the clip down in the video. You can find the gold and you can check what do I mean with it. So this is a scenario of bullish that it might unfold in case we see, of course, a zigzag here, kind of like that. Now, internally, let's move inside it, because you might still be also in A, B, and a C toward the downside, or W, X, and a Y, where your wave Y might be even a zigzag. All right. So two scenarios still, of course, for lower prices. ABC, the ABC here might take the one-to-one fib level, $3,000. And then you would like to see, of course, after this diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, and a 5, somehow like that. Okay. Preferably wave 4 a little bit longer in time, and then 5, of course. So yeah, those are the potential scenarios here. We are looking at the 1 hour chart inside it. Here we go. This is the current price action, where we might be, of course, in an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, the wave 4, in case we are still bullish and we are in wave 4, we did not invalidate this impulse yet, by the way. Yeah. And that opens still the scenario potentially, of course, for a wave 5. But the problem here is on the lower time frame, 15-minute chart, where is your impulse after the wave 4? Yeah, this is a question mark. Now you have something impulsive here, but this doesn't look like an impulse. By the way, this looks like a little bit like a triangle. Interesting, right? A, B, C, D, E, and you should move down. And therefore, okay, it's not a triangle. Something else might be unfolding here. 3, 4. Oh, nice. Okay, nice indication. Look what happened here. We took also the invalidation of bearish. Very interesting. Invalidation of bearish. So if this is a wave 4 and a 5, so it's not anymore. It is not anymore, because the wave 4 interfered with the zone 1. Therefore, I'm going to remove this option. We are in something else definitely. So this has turned definitely to an A, B, and a C. This is the first thing. Second thing is, well, starting with a triangle here and moving up like A, let me check, A, B, and a C. Yeah, very interesting. The only way that you can start with a triangle here is very weird, whether you are in an ABC or you are in WX and Y. But very rare case scenario, guys, that you start a correction with a triangle only if you are in WX and Y. And therefore, W potentially an X, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The wave Y might be zigzag, or you have finished simply A, B, and a C. Why? Because you have an impulse finished, meaning it has finished a structure, which it can be here an A, B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave C. Very choppy one, but yeah, it can be, guys. So let's keep this as scenarios. So mini magenta here. Very rare to start a regular flat, by the way, with a triangle. Very rare. A much higher possibility it goes for W, X, and a Y again. But because a wave Y, therefore, still needs one more high, because you need to be a zigzag here. And it might be still unfolding. Okay, so very interesting for this scenario, what is going on here. Okay, so I'm gonna stay with this wave force since not invalidated. I'm gonna still watching it, but also we're not like very bullish, and that because of this triangle. Unless, guys, I'm getting a new idea here, potential scenario, which it might be 1, 2. Yes, can be. Well, I don't see like clear impulse. I see it as a zigzag. Yeah, higher potential. It's a triangle, guys. Unless 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very sharp diagonal. That's very tricky, right? That's very tricky. I mean, look at the 5-minute chart. Even looks like one leg. Therefore, yeah, better to consider it, okay, as a zigzag because of the triangle. Unless if this transformed to 1, 2, yeah, you might have like kind of like a WX and a Y here, like WX and a Y, and then you have one ABC for wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, but invalidation. Okay, I'm just trying to how to say, to go to the maximum limit, guys, with the thing. So that is nothing impulsive, nothing impulsive. Much more convincing is a triangle here, and you might be in a zigzag. Okay, simply complex structure. So that means, let's watch this, by the way. Target 1-to-1 fib level. Here we go for a zigzag. Okay, so we experience the limit of this in case we are very bullish. Okay, 1, 2 is not really possible even, because invalidation wave 4 here. Because if you are in WX and a Y here, therefore you have to count this as a wave 1, ABC wave 2, wave 3, right? And then your wave 4 invalidated. Yep. And what is your wave 4 related in relation in time? Because this is your wave 2. There is no wave 4 here in time, meaning this belongs to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 internally. One impulse to the upside. Yes, much more convinced. So much more convinced in ABC or WX and a Y. The wave Y is unfolding as a zigzag. Let's watch this. If we break this 1-to-1 fib level, if we break it, okay, then we start to consider again this something impulsive. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, if only we break this level. All right, so to be watched. It's a key level, yeah, as well, and a target. Cool. And basically, higher potential is for higher because we did not invalidate yet this 1, 2, 3. Wave 4, potentially you're still looking for higher. Nobody knows. Yes. Oh, another scenario before I move and shift to something else. What if we are in a zigzag? Wave 1, 2, right? 3, 4, and a 5. Ending diagonal. What if? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And then you finish 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay. To keep it in mind, guys, let's just put this diagonal shape for Monday. All right. We're going to see. Cool. That was it for the gold. Very interesting. The gold. Okay, we forgot the time again. Let's start here at 17, I think. All right. Let's see what Nvidia did yesterday. We start Nvidia at 26. Okay, so Nvidia, I think it went up, of course, with NASDAQ, right? Yes. But yeah, it's a clear ABC again. Okay, so the same as NASDAQ, as the same sick move, right? It's a sick move to the upside where you see, of course, correction and wave C. Okay, meaning simply you are in an A, B, and a C toward the downside. This was considered like kind of an impulse, but look what you got at the end of the wave 5. A, B, C. Okay, so this what changed here, the characteristic of this impulse. Yeah, very late, but yeah, tricky. So you have here W, X, and a Y. Okay, 3 waves, wave A, and then A, B, and a C towards the upside. Taking the fib level, perfect fib level, I think. Let's check for an expanding flat wave B. Wave B expanding flat. Here we go. Yeah. Yep, so this is what I would like to see exactly. This is a fib level for a wave B, and then we're moving potentially toward the downside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, Nvidia is closed, right? It's closed today. Yes, so yeah, until Monday. But Monday might be, of course, very red, okay? Okay, so that is for Nvidia. Let's move for the next one. Just as I told you, it's gonna be short, guys, today because the market is closed anyway, and it's just to keep the things in mind and to update for Monday as well. Be ready. Palantir. Okay, so Palantir yesterday was okay, even was not that bullish for it. I mean, knowing that all of them were moving for higher. But here we can see, of course, a finish wave A, wave B, and then wave C toward the downside. Yes, very potential. And that because we took the invalidation of bearish. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 is not really possible to happen. And therefore, you have to consider, again, WX and a Y here. Why? Because this has finished right now in 3 waves. Okay. Yeah. Even you don't have a wave 5 here. In case you are impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, it's not. Okay. So we have much clearer price right now. We have a W. I would say even, I would say, yeah, W, X, and a Y. That is much nicer. Look at the zigzag. You have an X in between here and another zigzag, which matching the proportion, of course, in scale and length, both for the W and the Y. Yep. So hello, Syed. Hello. Welcome to the live stream, man. So basically, this is a correction. Now, are we impulsive towards the upside? Well, this is a question right now. Very interesting, but this is not looking like something impulsive. Everything is overlapping. Everything is still corrective, guys. Meaning, something else is unfolding, and I think here a bigger A, B, and a C. So it's true we invalidate the impulse, but still looking for the same scenario, and potentially 1-to-1 fib level is still very possible. But the wave B, I would say, is not finished yet. Okay, so can be something very complex here. It can be maybe here, but yeah, be careful with it. Okay, so it might be, of course, a wave C even for lower. 117, if you remember, still the same number looking at it, even when we were in ABC. Okay, so nothing has changed, I would say. It's only internally the structure that it has changed. But the aim is still the same because we're looking anyway for this target, for this blue box, right? Which is, of course, 117. How it happened. What a coincidence. All right, so that is for Palantir. Let's see Tesla. Tesla is, yeah. Guys, be careful from Tesla. Every day, the things are not really going well for Tesla. Okay, so every day I'm getting much more convinced that Tesla is not doing well. It's not gonna do well for the future. Okay, guys, so be careful again, because yeah, as I told you, there is a lot of scenarios in this chart. I mean, we can see the whole conflict here already on the chart. Forget the news, forget what you hear outside the chart. Okay, just on the chart, the only possible scenario again for the bullish to save Tesla right now is the diagonal, and we have zigzag, not an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have simply a zigzag. Therefore, the only bullish scenario here is diagonal, finishing wave C, which is corrective already, A, B, and a C. Okay. The other possibilities are, most of them, in red. Okay, most of them are in red, and we're looking for potentially like taking the slow in worst case scenario, even moving to $70 to $50 in an A, B, and a C, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toward the downside. Okay, this is a worst case scenario. Now, of course, there is a lot of sideways scenario again, which are A, B, C, D, E, of course, and then moving for higher if the things is gonna go back to its normal, finishing triangle and moving high. Final scenario is W, expanding flat, zigzag for X, zigzag for Y. Can be taking just at least the low in a wave Y, or it can be simply 1-to-1 fib level. Let's put this 1-to-1 fib level, by the way. Here we go. Okay, 1-to-1 fib level. Dennis, Tesla at 170, funny. Yes, very funny. I hope you don't laugh and fall on your back, man. Yes, it's very funny, and it might happen. Okay. Um, and if you think that this is funny, we're not making joke here, bro. So we're just doing analysis, and we said this is the worst case scenario. So it's a scenario. So yeah. Last week they bought already $290. I don't care. It's fundamentals. I don't care, man. We're Elliott Wave here, okay? All right, man. We're Elliott Wave. We're technical here. I don't care what's going on outside the chart, okay? So we're looking at W, X, and Y, or we're looking at a triangle, or a big ABC towards the downside expanding flat. So yes, a $70, $50 is on the table, whether you like it or not. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can be an impulse, of course. However, 1-to-1 fib level, of course, is priority in zigzag wave Y, and we might, of course, move toward the upside after, of course, a W, X, and a Y. Don't forget that this can play also as a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and then moving for higher. Worst case scenario, of course, we move for a new low and potentially, of course, this expanding flat. All right, so that was it for Tesla. Okay, and that was it for today. I think I already mentioned in the beginning, it's gonna be, of course, a short live stream today because the market is closed. And of course, it's a Friday. Enjoy your time, guys. It's not about trading the whole time and looking at charts. So try to enjoy your life as well. I wish you to have a nice day and a nice weekend and enjoy the holiday. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.